Hello and welcome to a new lesson in English language for second intermediate. Our lesson today is the second part of lesson 1B entitled Round the Clock. You can find it on page 8 of your student book. I must remind you that before we start the lesson, you should have your mini board and marker. In case you don't have these things, you can use your notebook and pen. Now let's look at today's objectives. At the end of this lesson, the student will be able to identify the usages of the present symbol and present continuous tenses, write short descriptions of some pictures of his or her family doing activities using the two tenses. Now let's get started. Present simple tense. Why do we use the present simple tense? We use the present simple tense for facts and permanent states. For example, John works as a dentist. We also use it for general truths and laws of nature. For example, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. We can also use the present simple tense to talk about habits and routines. For example, he usually walks to work. And finally, we can use the present simple tense to talk about timetables and programs. For example, the show starts at 6:30 p.m. Now let's look closer. If we want to talk about how many times or how often we do actions, especially with sentences with the present simple tense, we use adverbs of frequency. They are always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. Now, how do we form the present simple tense in affirmative sentences? For third person singular, the pronouns she, he, it are followed by the adverb of frequency, like always, plus the verb, plus s. For example, he always gets up at 6 a.m. In the case for plural and speaker for affirmative sentences, the pronouns they, we, you, and I are followed by the adverb of frequency, like usually, plus the verb. For example, they usually catch the bus to school. How can we form the present simple in negative sentences? In the case for third person singular, the pronouns she, he, and it are followed by does, not, plus the verb without s. For example, he doesn't get up early. In the case for plural and speaker, the pronouns they, we, you, and I are followed by do, not, plus the verb. For example, they don't catch the bus to school. Hopefully you are ready for task 1. For practice, look at the pictures below and write sentences using the present simple tense. You can have 1 minute for each sentences, that is an equal of 3 minutes. Good luck. Now, these are suggested answers. Number 1, Faisal always practices writing on time. Number 2, they sometimes watch TV in the living room. Number 3, Ali usually plays tennis on Saturdays. Well done for completing the first task. Now, let's get to another topic. The present continuous tense. Why do we use the present continuous tense? We use it for actions taking place at or around the moment of speaking. For example, Anne is having a shower now. We also use the present continuous tense for temporary situations. For example, they are painting the wall. The present continuous tense is also used to talk about fixed arrangements in the near future. For example, he is eating out tonight. And finally, we use the present continuous tense to talk about currently changing and developing situations. For example, the earth is getting hotter and hotter. Now let's look closer. We mentioned earlier that the present simple tense use adverbs of frequency. But for present continuous tense, there are time expressions that we can use when writing sentences with the present continuous tense. Some examples are now, these days, nowadays, at the moment, at present, still, and today. We also use tonight to talk about the present continuous tense using time expressions. Now, how do we form the present continuous tense in affirmative sentences? For third person singular, the pronouns she, he, and it are followed by the verb to be is plus the main verb plus ing. For example, she is doing the washing up now. In the case of plural and speaker, for affirmative sentences, the present continuous is formed this way. I plus verb to be am plus main verb plus ing. The other pronouns, they, we, you, are followed by the verb to be are plus main verb plus ing. For example, we are painting the wall at the moment. How do we form the present continuous tense in negative sentences? In the case of third person singular, the pronouns she, he, it are followed by the verb to be is plus negation not, and then the main verb plus ing. For example, she isn't doing the washing up now. As for plural and speaker, the pronoun I is followed by the verb to be am with negation not plus the main verb plus ing. The other pronouns, they, we, you, are followed by the verb to be are with negation not plus the main verb plus ing. For example, we aren't painting the wall at the moment. Hopefully we are ready for task 2 now. For practice, look at the pictures below and write sentences using the present continuous tense. For each picture, you will have 1 minute, that is a total of 3 minutes. Good luck. Now let's look at the answers. Number 1, Sally is taking the rubbish out at the moment. Number 2, Alex is doing the shopping now. Number 3, Sarah is still listening to music. Congratulations for finishing task 2 correctly. Now we are ready for task 3. For practice, put the verb between the brackets into the correct form, whether present simple or present continuous. Bear in mind when you do this exercise, the time expressions used with the present continuous tense, the adverbs of frequency used with the present simple tense. I wish you all success. You will have 5 minutes to finish this question. Good luck. Now let's check your answers. Number 1. Hurry up. The bus is coming. I don't want to miss it. Number 2. You can borrow my umbrella. I am not using it at the moment. Number 3. George says he is 80 years old, but I don't believe him. Number 4. Please don't make so much noise. I am studying. Number 5. We usually grow vegetables in our garden, but this year we aren't growing any. Well done for achieving task 3 correctly. Now we are ready for task 4. For further assessment, find pictures of your family doing activities. Write a short description of each. Remember to use the present simple and present continuous. For this task, in order to be successful, you have to use the correct tense, whether it is present simple or present continuous tense, correctly. You should also spell correctly and punctuate well. In that case, bear in mind the correct use of full stops, commas, and other punctuations. You should also use capital letters at the beginning of your sentences for names and other vocabulary that needs capital letter. You will have 10 minutes to finish this task. Good luck. Well done. I hope you have done this task correctly. Let's look at some suggested answers. I always sleep late on weekends. My brother walks to school every day. I am cooking with my mother at the moment. My father reads the newspaper every morning. We are watching a game show today. Now we reach the end of our lesson. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, I wish you all success. Goodbye and stay safe.